welcome to another episode of BTY. My name is Michael, and as always, I'm joined by my good friend Daniel, and we are back for another sit-down episode. And this is an episode for those of you who have been sticking around with us here at Better Than Yesterday for a while and are interested in what we are doing here. We wanted to discuss almost the vision of what we are doing here at Better Than Yesterday and what our plans are moving forward with this channel. And what you can expect from us, and also getting your guys' input on what you would like to see from us. But then this year we held our first in-person conference, which was a young men's conference there in Rehoboth, Namibia, which was an amazing success. But this is something that we are planning to get into more and more. So we'd love to hear from you what exactly our plans are in that space.
Yeah, so it was awesome having that experience as we got into what we call BTY conferences. We call it a BTY Young Men's Conference, but you can even term it a networking session or a BTY masterclass. We haven't totally got that definition or what we want to call it solidified yet, but it's a session where we approach guys off of the screen and we are just spending time with them in person, which is a bit different from what we've been doing, the BTY sit down videos. I know we've done a lot of podcasts over the last few years, but this is where
100%.
we can engage our viewers and even just young men from the communities around us, wherever we are hosting this program, and giving them advice on what to do in life, and we also learning from them. But this isn't just something that's for us guys, it's for women as well, and that's what we're planning to do when we're doing the one that we'll be hosting on the 28th of September. God willingly, we're hoping that everything's going to work out well. And then I know we've got one planned for December as well, but the focus would be now for getting this thing done in September. So also stay tuned for that, as we've got some interesting speakers that'll be coming on in a panel type setting. So it's going to be a bit different than the one we hosted in Rehoboth, but it's something that I'm glad that we've been able to delve into as well outside of the YouTube space there, Mike.
No, it's such an exciting thing to get into, man. And I think, as Daniel and I look to turn BTY into something more commercial, but not even just that, something that is able to impact more and more people. I think we want to, really take this into something quite big, and turn this passion project of ours into something that we can focus on full time.
Yes.
And I think those conferences or masterclasses, as you said there, man, are a great way to interact with people in the flesh, like you say. And can't wait to get into that next masterclass that we are planning. That'll be there in Windhoek, Namibia. So keep an eye open for communication for us on our socials of what that is going to look like. But as Daniel mentioned, another asset of what we're trying to do there is bringing on experts in the field and getting their voices on and providing a session, as you mentioned there, man, that is really of value to every single person that comes through. And in the last conference as well, we handed out little booklets, and we had like a little tea time session, and there was a space for networking. So as you said, there's a lot to it, man, and I think this is a space that we really want to get into and cement ourselves and start to make a tangible difference in the communities that we are involved in, man.
Definitely.
But another point that I wanted to hop into is just what Daniel and I are planning to do with the content here on this channel. So Better Than Yesterday, as you mentioned, has been for a long time, a podcast, in that the limitations of Daniel living in Namibia and myself living here in Cape Town is that it's hard to make, you look at our last two videos, for example, we did a travel video in Lüderitz, and we did a, like that video that was showing all the highlights of the young men's camp that we attended with 4x4. So those kind of videos are great, and we love making those kind of videos. But obviously the limitation of us being in different countries is that those kind of videos are few and far between, and only when Daniel and I are in the same country. But what Daniel and I are planning to do is to start to implement some more lifestyle videos. You'll see, actually, our very last video was a day in the life video,
Yeah.
which we recorded while Daniel was here in Cape Town, which was a lot of fun.
Mm.
And I know that you guys gave some great feedback on that video as well and said that
Yeah.
this is content that you guys enjoy. So that's also something that we want to hop into is more lifestyle content, showing you guys a bit more of the nitty gritty, you know, of pursuing self improvement and not just sitting down and having a conversation.
Yeah.
That is to say that we're not doing away completely with all of these videos and this style of videos, because I think this is something that I enjoy, man, having these kind of conversations with you. That is how I started it. And
Yeah.
it's something that we want to hold on to. So we will definitely be doing these kind of sit down episodes with Dan and I, break down interesting topics, give our thoughts, and just have, you know, an open conversation about topics, whether it be political, whether it be to do with self-improvement, or whether it be, you know, reacting to you know, interesting events in the world. We've got lots of different ideas around that, but as I mentioned, we want to hop into a bit more lifestyle type videos, whether that be more day in the life content, whether that be you know, a vlog, and other travel videos. I can do stuff while I'm here and in my travels around South Africa, and same with Daniel there in Namibia.
Yeah.
And also, what's great about getting older and a bit more independence is that Daniel and I can sometimes travel up to South Africa or up to Namibia and down to South Africa to, you know, be in the same location more often. So that's been cool that we have been able to do that over the last 3 years, man. It
Yeah.
was really, really great having you down here for a while.
Yeah, no, it was a blessed time, and this is my first week back. We're recording this on a Wednesday evening, so it's been tiring to come back to Namibia and settle in, get back into working, and it like Mike and I just said earlier, it feels a bit like a rat race, because it's something that you have to just do consistently, and just getting out of studies, and then it's like you think that you've seen the light, and then there's just some like another challenge that you have to face again. But I mean, that's what makes
Always.
life interesting sometimes. But we'll get into a bit more of that, the content that we want to bring out, where we really give our thoughts on what we think about how society works and the systems that we are in currently. Also, I know we're excited to be launching booklets. So the first booklet would be something as what we call a starter pack for self-improvement for young guys or women that would be wanting to get into this thing of personal development, which I think everyone actually is in, but this is now being into it more intentionally, where you really want to see growth within your life. And we're excited to be working on these type of projects as well, outside of what we've been doing these last few years, like I've mentioned earlier. So we're going to be diving into a bit of our creative writing, and then trying to add value in those type of sources as well, where you're not just going to be seeing us on a camera, but then you can hear our thoughts and our advice through a book or a booklet, what we call an ebook. So that's going to be interesting, Mike. And yeah, I know that we were working on one for the 4x4 camp that we had. Tell me, like, what's your experience been like writing this? Because I know it's not always as easy to co-write with someone else, but how do you feel about us also getting into this?
Yeah, man, it's exciting. You know, creative writing is something you mentioned there, man, and I know while for anyone who's watching who's maybe was part of that 4x4 camp, we spoke about how creative writing is a great outlet for anyone, you know, who's on the self improvement journey,
Yeah.
because you learn so much from it, especially from the doing of it. So very excited to get into that, man. I think we also mentioned at that camp that back in the day, Daniel and I, this was in like grade 3 or 4, we read a little book together. Actually, it was like a co-written little book that we had done, fictional
Yeah.
story. So if only we could find that book somewhere in the archives, I think that would be a cool find. But what we're planning to do with these books is to make something that's a bit more impactful and something that's really going to be useful to anyone who gets their hands on it. And
Yeah.
like you say, man, that first one is already in the works, where we are going to be providing some very practical tools on getting into self improvement. And as you mentioned, man, I think it's quite it's a different way to distill your knowledge and your wisdom, you know, as opposed to these videos that we do. I think a book you can spend a lot more time in the way you word yourself and the way that you get your point across. And so I think there's, you know, a different type of impact that can be felt through a book. So it's a great outlet, and we're excited for you guys to see what we've been working on. But yeah, another facet then that we are working on as well, as BTY. So yeah, it's exciting that we're doing, you know, all these different things, and we hope that you guys are, you know, on board for this and excited as well, because we've already also started a BTY men's community, young men's community. So that started directly after the conference that we did, which is, for the moment, it just looks like a WhatsApp group where there is a weekly newsletter that is sent out, daily motivation, conversations had between the young guys on the group. And get in touch with us, reach out to us if you would like to be a part of this group, because we can definitely add you on there for now. But this is something that we plan to expand on and make it more and more valuable to those who are on the group. And you know, maybe do even things like in-person meetups with the guys on the group, and networking sessions, coaching. There's a lot of things that we could do with that, and that's what we're planning to do with those communities as well.
Yeah.
And this is just a great way as well for us to get in touch with you guys directly. You can speak to us directly as well, and so we can hear from you and learn from you, as well as vice versa. You guys can get the information directly from us as well.
Yeah, so even with this community, it's been encouraging to have a few guys respond to certain thoughts that we put out there. And it's interesting to gauge and see what other guys are also trying out. And this is what this community is for. It's a bit of encouragement. Like, a big shout out to Sipo, who's been doing like our weekly newsletters. That's what we call them.
Yeah.
Where he's also giving radical advice to us young guys, and really thought-provoking information that he gives as an encouragement for the week. And yeah, it's something that's special to share between guys, whereas you're not just getting content online, but then we're able to interact through WhatsApp and encourage each other as we go on about our lives, because a YouTube video lasts merely a few minutes and then it's done, and then you have to go about. So this is just a way of us journeying together as young men or older men, trying to see what we can do in this life that we've been given. And then finally, what's also been inspiring, that like the opportunities that we've been getting through BTY, and I feel like it's this consistency that we've been putting into this, even though we know we have a lot of delayed gratification. It's amazing to be able to see that we're actually getting engagement from others out there that saw us on. I know how this 4x4 camp thing started was through Mr. Boy seeing us on TV here in Namibia. And that's also an opportunity that came through BTY, where we were able to go and have a camp with young guys and mentor them and give them what we might have wanted when we were younger and when we were their age. And it's been like, it's so inspiring to see young guys also wanting to be leaders going into the future, because I mean, our parents, our fathers, they are going to fall away, and then we're going to become father figures. So are we ready to carry that legacy and even become better father figures than our parents or our fathers? So that's the type of opportunities that we've been getting off screen, off of from YouTube, but then doing it in real life and being on the grounds where this is actually happening, and we're physically together with other young boys, young men, and we're just having a blast, giving each other advice and teaching each other on how to become responsible men in the community, how to become responsible boyfriends or husbands and fathers one day. So, and even business leaders and all sorts of things. And it's just a dream come true, actually, having us being able
It
to
is, man.
already delve into a bit of life coaching. Eh?
No, it's so exciting, man, and
Mm.
yeah, a big thank you to Mr. Boys and the 4x4 initiative
Yeah,
for that camp that we were involved in, and yeah, keep your eyes on that space, the 4x4 initiative and collaborations there in with BTY. Some big things coming, man. But it's been cool to have a look at our plans for the future. I
yeah,
think it was something that was due because BTY, as the channel goes through this evolution or revolution, whatever you
yeah,
want to call it. Yeah, this is just us trying to make as positive an impact as we can, on as many people as we can,
yeah,
and I think BTY has already achieved a lot, man. And it's been an epic, almost, well, yeah, it's been over 3 years now that
yeah,
we've been going with BTY, and it's been epic to see what we've achieved. But we really believe that this is only the very start, like the tip of the iceberg of what we are planning to do here with Better Than Yesterday. So we do hope that you will join us on this journey. And if you did enjoy listening to us on this episode, then please consider giving us a like. That'll help us out here on YouTube. And wherever you're listening to us, consider sharing as well.
yeah,
And subscribe and follow if you want to stay in touch and follow us on this journey that we are on. But Dan, it's been great to hop on this conversation with you. And I know it's been a challenging week there in Namibia,
yeah.
but always enjoy these conversations that we have.
Yeah, thanks, man. So, yeah, it's always good, and much love here from BTY. Cheers.
Much love.